It's showtime.
Hey, welcome to Did You Watch Survivor Last Night? This is the only Survivor podcast for compassionate haters, and if you're listening, that's you. My name is Jake Scheidel. Each week I ask my best friend, Thomas Paul, if you did indeed watch a certain reality show. Hey, Thomas, how's it going this morning? Or afternoon, I guess, now.
It's the 5th of July.
Oh,
you know what that means.
July the 5th be with you.
July the 5th be with you, and that means it's time for everyone to light off more fireworks. What's the earliest you've heard a firework today? Have you heard any yet?
I have not heard any yet. It is almost noon here, but I will say we tried to go out for a walk last night, me and the dog, and got about a block, and she said, "No, I'm good. I don't need to go anymore."
Yeah, not like in how it's going out here.
Let's go home, actually. I said, "Yeah, no problem."
I'm gonna go cower.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go sit in the bathtub.
So she's doing good.
Yeah, Jean's doing okay. That's good to hear. Yeah, I heard one at 11:15 a.m.
Oh,
Somebody
nice.
lit one off.
Not
sure what they're getting out of that, but they sure did.
The 5th is July in them. I did see a used firework. I don't know, the cardboard plastic shit that's left over on the roof of our garage this morning. I said, "Oh, I wonder what that is." When I saw another one on the ground, I said, "Oh, I know what that is. It's an old firework. Fireworks, pro or con?" And no context can you give. You just have to say pro or con.
So did you have a good 4th outside of seeing used fireworks?
Not going to respond to my question.
No.
It was fine. I didn't do anything. Did you do anything?
I went to a West Michigan Whitecaps game on the 3rd, and then I had a great time doing that. And then yesterday I was like, I don't really want to do anything, so I didn't.
Happy birthday, America. 249. Maybe one day we can get there.
Yeah, we're getting a cool UFC fight on the White House lawn for 250. I love living in this country.
Is that true?
That's the big guy said that's what he wanted. So
Dana White?
No, the other big guy.
Imagine Dana White becomes president. I wouldn't put it past this country.
Also, I don't know if Dana White seems like a short guy to me. I don't know if I would call him the big guy.
It's actually a short king.
He's a short king. Okay. Well, no short kings. That's a rally that I'm setting up.
You say you don't like watching UFC?
It's not really a question of whether I like or don't like it. It's not really my cup of tea. I just think that it is fittingly tacky for the point in time we're at, that it's like, oh, we're gonna have a fucking UFC fight on the White House lawn.
Personally,
cool, man.
I don't love any combat sports like that. Occasionally I'll check something out, and wrestling doesn't count because that shit's fake. But
yeah, because you know it's fake, right?
I do actually know it's fake, and that's why I like it. I only like fake shit, such as
and you love the Triple H era of WWE. It's so good right now. He's so good at booking and writing things.
Speaking of,
and giving people good names. Do you like the good names that they're giving people?
I like JC Mateo and how he looks like a big toddler, like this badass. This badass thing they've been doing for like 5 years, and then this dude comes in with like no teeth smile. He's like, "Who are you?"
He's not a big star. It's all about Karrion Kross now. That's what I'm hearing.
Karrion Kross is carrying the company.
Yeah, that's right. With his good bumping that he does.
Yeah, he's really good at screaming at us and being into metal. I like that about him. Thomas, this is not a show about wrestling. If you want to do that, you can go to our Patreon, patreon.com/justpodcasts. We have one about wrestling, probably. A fun thing to watch, though, is actually Survivor, Thomas. Did you watch Survivor Tocantins, the Brazilian Highlands, last night?
Brazil! I did watch Survivor Tocantins, the Brazilian Islands, last night.
What an episode. This week's episode was called You're Gonna Want That Tooth. Pretty good title.
Honestly, it's a great title, and I also think, man, couldn't have picked a better episode to only do one for, you know? Like,
why do you say that?
The recap episode.
Oh.
What? Because of the recap episode. Like,
did you watch that?
No.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
you specifically were like, we're just doing 5 because of 6 is a recap episode. And I was like, oh, right. Yeah. Well, I wasn't going to watch that anyway, but I won't watch 7 then.
Yeah.
But for a 1 episode week, we got a great episode. This is a really good one.
Here's the secret about Survivor Tocantins. They're all great episodes.
Yeah, this is a good season.
This is a really good season. This episode first aired on March 12, 2009. March the 12th be with you.
Okay.
Thomas, how old would you have been on March 12, 2009?
This is the countdown to Jake's birthday. Only 2 more episodes. So the next episode we come back on will have aired the day after your birthday.
We're not talking about my birthday, Thomas. We're talking about your age. How old would you have been March 12, 2009?
How old would I have been Well, I would have been 17 years old.
I would have also been 17 years old. Peak life, do you think, when you were 17?
We were having a good. We had a little case of senioritis at this point in time.
That's so real.
We were playing out the string. I think we probably had already taken the AP tests at this point, so it was all winding down.
Yeah. I was definitely dealing with senioritis then, and probably for the 3 years before, and also I still haven't recovered since 16
still
years
got a little
later.
Still got a little bit of senioritis going.
Yeah. Last week's episode received 11.85 million viewers. How many viewers do you think this one received?
I'm going to say 11.5.
Would you believe it actually increased once Hurricane Sandy left?
12 million.
Even more.
12.2.
Keep going.
Wow, 12.4?
Keep going.
12.5.
Keep going.
This is crazy. 12.7.
Keep going.
13 million?
Not that far. It's 12.82 million.
Okay, 12.8. Okay.
They gained almost 1 million viewers after voting out Hurricane Sandy. Do you think they were like, oh, we should have done this earlier, kept more of those viewers around?
Yeah, it's crazy that we didn't already do this.
And do you think that the contestants are thinking about viewership when they vote people out?
No, but they should be.
They should be. On the Jalapeno Tribe, Steven gives a fantastic back scratch to Taj. Loved this.
This is great.
Steven,
great character.
Love Steven. Love Taj. Trying to think, is there anybody on this season I don't love? So together they...
Hope Eddie George doesn't get jealous from this back scratching.
That was another thing. We were talking about Love Island earlier. This dude, Ace, he was talking to somebody and she was like, do you get jealous? Because, the whole thing is like talking to multiple people. And he was like, no, I don't get jealous, but like, I'm definitely like overprotective of what's mine. And she's like, it's giving jealousy. And he goes, no.
I hate when it's giving jealousy.
I think maybe this man just doesn't know what the word jealousy means, because everything you're describing constitutes jealousy. Anyway,
she was like, do you get jealous? And he was like, well, I don't really think of myself as a Nick Jonas type. I'm more of an overprotect. Was there a Britney Spears song called Overprotected? There's something like that.
There's a show on Amazon Prime called Overcompensating. That's pretty decent.
I've heard that.
It's good. Have you started watching it yet?
It is overprotected. So he was thinking, he's like, I'm more of a Britney Spears guy than a Nick Jonas guy.
That would be a good poll for later in the episode. Keep that in the back pocket. So Steven and Taj find the idol together. Pretty exciting. Did you like how Steven was like, I'm the one wearing the necklace?
Yes.
That was pretty good. Over on Timbira,
Steven is a good maneuverer. He's very good at making himself not seem like a threat, but he is like very canny operator.
Do you know how far Steven makes it?
Yes, I do.
Damn it. Okay. Do you know how far everybody makes it? Did you?
Not everybody, but I know who wins and I know who makes it to final.
Yeah. Fair enough. I mean, that's pretty hard to avoid with this season, and I think this...
Yeah, I mean, these were all people that had been on other, like, JT and Coach and Steven were all on other seasons that we've watched, so...
Don't forget about your man Tyson.
And then, of course, Tyson, goes without saying.
Yeah, I think this season, even knowing how it ends, is still very fun. Like it's just a good time.
I'm just enjoying, the lead up. It's about the journey, not the destination.
Absolutely. On Timbira, Frendon works on the fire, and Sierra confronts him about the secret alliance. I love watching this season after Camilla and Kyle's secret alliance, this most recent season, because it's like they're using like the same terminology and everything. It's very funny. Secret alliance.
This is I think they do. Like, I think the Exile Alliance is a good idea. You just can't be too obvious about it. But it's also not 100% his fault because he just keeps getting sent there. He's not choosing to get sent there.
That's true. On the reward challenge, they have to sit on spinning platform and then race around a post. Is that right?
Yes. So Geoff says in the description of it, the contestants will become dizzy from this. And I was like, you don't know that.
Yeah.
You don't know how my body, yeah.
Oh,
presumptive. I won't get dizzy. What if I don't get dizzy? What are you going to do about it, Geoff?
Yeah, Geoff. You don't know my balance.
But they spin them around like 1,000 times, so they obviously get dizzy.
It was very reminiscent of like a minor league baseball game when you would spin your head.
I was just at one of those.
Yeah.
They didn't do the spinning bad head thing, but
should ask for your money back.
Yeah, this is bullshit.
This is why I come.
I'm going to march right up to my former high school Algebra 2 teacher and demand that he gives me a dizzy. I'm going to say, hey, Mr. Beep. Mm-hmm. And that's not me swearing at him. I'm just not going to say his last name.
Hey, Mr. Fucko.
I don't care if you're a delightful MC for this minor league baseball team and you run all of the silly little, between inning stuff. You better give me what I want or else.
Yeah, I kind of forgot that he was the MC on that game.
Yeah, he's still
pretty fun.
Yep, former high school teacher of ours does all of that stuff for our local minor league affiliate, and he's very good at it. He's been doing it for a long time.
The winners go to not the sanctuary where good things happen, not even the sanctuary, but the Charmin Cafe.
The Charmin Cafe. I got so excited when the Charmin Cafe came up. I immediately texted you.
Yeah, I was pretty upset about it. Saying Charmin...
You were upset. You didn't... I love that they're like, you're going to drink a lot of coffee. They should have been like, we have a lot of fiber and everything that we have here. You guys are going to be shitting. And let me tell you, you're going to be shitting in style because there's an outhouse with a real toilet in it.
Saying Charmin Cafe out loud makes it sound like they serve croissants made out of toilet paper or something.
Yeah. They should have shown everyone line up to take a shit. They should have been like, all right, how was it?
Yeah.
Get the Charmin bears. We were very disappointed the Charmin bears weren't involved. Get the Charmin ass wiping bears out there. And have them interview everyone after the shit they took and be like, how was it?
Can you imagine how good that would be?
Was it good?
Spencer says spinning around on the thing feels like beer goggles. Have you ever done beer goggles?
Yes, I did them in Dare,
yes.
And it does give you some balance issues. It was really funny watching the first point where everybody had to kind of gather themselves.
Mm-hmm. Everybody like shaking their head before going on the balance beam.
Yeah, stumbling around. Yeah, it was very entertaining.
I feel like beer goggles, like they kind of make it hard to focus, right? Because you see multiple things, whatever. I feel like
it really fucks with your vision. I will say I have never been that drunk. I'm sure there's a level of drunk you can get where that happens, but I feel like I black out before I get that kind of drunk.
I would say a more effective beer goggles would make it just like a little hard, like your eyes are slightly closed and things are a little blurry.
Yeah.
And it just kind of like
I
makes
think
you
it's
sleepy.
just more that your perception is kind of hazy and you're tired or whatever, you know?
Yeah. I think instead of beer goggles, they should have just let us take a nap.
Yeah.
That's what I usually do after consuming a couple beers. A nap sounds nice.
Same here.
That beer was good. What about a nap? Ooh, also good.
Yeah, nap would be even better.
Jalapeno wins this one. Congratulations for the Jalapeno tribe. Brendan and Steven go to Exile. Boys' night on Exile. Pretty exciting stuff. But your man Tyson is growing suspicious of Brendan, making all these connections on the other tribe.
Yeah, it is the kind of thing where it's a good strategy, but people are tuned in enough to gameplay at this point that they understand what's happening there.
So at the Charmin Cafe, there are eggs and cakes and coffees and a toilet. Pretty exciting stuff. A real toilet, too. Not like
real toilet. Real shitters only.
That's what I'm saying. They also receive letters from home. Doesn't it feel early to do letters from home?
It does feel a little early.
Like they just got there. What is this, the new era? Joe and JT bond over having distant parents. That's nice.
Big deal.
Yeah, who cares?
No, it was nice.
Like, everybody's got fucking weird-ass parents, man. You're not special. I hate when people think they're special because they have parents,
Yeah, calm down.
On Timbira, Tyson fills the rest of his tribe in on Brendan's plan. So sorry. To our friend Frendon. Coach notices the wind change and tells us the storm is going to just pass us. And then we cut to massive storm overtaking them.
Yeah, that was great.
Very good editing. It's like Art's done. Lost. Similar thing happened to him.
Has Coach ever gotten to do fire making? He seems like a guy that would have very strong opinions about how to do that.
Well, now that season 50 is in the books, maybe he did. I don't know if he's ever had to make Final Four fire making.
Probably not, but I will say I really enjoyed. I can't remember who it was, but that someone was saying that he basically he's a bit much. He's trying to portray himself as this outdoorsy guy. She's like, I wouldn't be surprised if there was a point later in the game where he was like, actually, I've never left Omaha from Nebraska before.
Mm-hmm. Then over on Exile, Frendon shows Steven around and then tell each other about their idols. Back at camp, Sydney tells us about a dream she had about her boyfriend having salsa during an earthquake. This was fun. I love hearing about people's dreams.
And she was like, this is a did you sleep last night? Did you sleep last night? And then she was like, I have to marry him.
Yeah, I have to marry him
because of the salsa that he had.
You have any dreams recently, speaking of?
Not that I remember.
I had a pretty wild dream last night, I have to tell you. The wife and I were watching TV, standard. And we hear this helicopter outside. We say, what's that helicopter outside? That's interesting. It sounds super close. And we look out the window, and as we look out the window, the helicopter is approaching our home. And then a little camera comes out the bottom of the helicopter and takes a picture of us as it's directly above us. And we're like, what the fuck was that? And then it darted off. And we said, oh, that's pretty bad. And then I went to the bathroom later in the night, and I came back, and I went back to sleep. I said, was that a dream? While I was asleep, I was like, that was definitely a dream. Right? And then I woke up later again, a couple hours ago. I said, oh, all of that was a dream. Our windows don't look like that. So that was my dream. I can't believe you don't have dreams. That disappoints me so much.
I do. I just forget them usually. It's like you remember them a little bit when you wake up and then you forget them.
This is why we need people to subscribe to Did You Sleep Last Night so we can afford a dream journal for Thomas. Okay, so at Exile, sorry, we did that already. Spencer talks about how being single at his age is fine, but actually, in reality, it's because he's gay and would like to keep that a secret. Good for you, Spencer. What is he, 19?
Yeah, it was kind of interesting that this was still a point in the game where you were worried about being openly gay.
Yeah, I had to remember, it's like, when did this air? 2009. And I had to remember, I guess that was kind of when things were just starting to change.
I don't know if Obama, when they filmed it, I'm assuming Obama had not yet been inaugurated.
Oh, yeah, let's see. What is the filming date on this season? Filming date's November 2 to December 10 of 2008.
So he won the election during this time. Do you think that somebody came over and told them, like that scene in the newsroom where they get the pilots out on the plane and tell them that they killed Osama bin Laden.
I didn't see that, but I hope that's what happened. There was a season of The Bachelor, the only season of The Bachelor I ever watched, where there was a really bad date. Like, just everybody was bad vibes. And then it came out later that they learned that Trump had just won the election on that day.
Oh, that's so sick.
It's like, that makes a lot of sense. Hilarious.
Okay. I also imagine it being shown to them like when Ben shows Jack that the Red Sox won the World Series.
One of the best scenes in Lost. That was so fun.
Yep.
Second Lost reference this episode. The immunity challenge, they have to slingshot balls to their tribe mates who catch it in nets. This is kind of fun.
Yes, I liked this. It ended up being a little more physical. This is a point where they had these challenges where they're like, you got to do whatever it takes to do this, and it's like, boy, I sure hope someone doesn't get hurt as they're just like tackling each other,
putting each other in choke locks. JT is especially great at this, but he did in fact lose half a tooth, which is when Geoff said the episode title, which I appreciated. I was like, oh, finally a Geoff quote that actually makes sense in the context that they use for an episode title.
I enjoyed that JT didn't seem too worried about the tooth, and Geoff was like, no, you're going to want that.
You're going to want that tooth.
Get that tooth for him.
Yeah. I just wonder, like, what happened to the tooth when they went back to camp?
Do you think Geoff ever gave him the tooth back?
He does at the end of the challenge.
Oh, he does. Okay. I saw him pocket it, and I just assumed I was like, that's for Geoff.
Joe busted his knee. Tamira wins thanks to some great catches by your man Tyson. And then at the end, Geoff, instead of saying, got nothing for you to the jalapeno tribe, he says, all I got for you is the other half of your tooth.
Oh,
pretty good line.
That's so cold.
Jalapeno tribe.
This is a good Geoff episode.
Yeah, occasionally Geoff is good. You know,
I mean, this era, Geoff was. He was in his bag more often than not.
Yeah. And the jalapeno tribe, Taj targets Spencer. She kind of blows up at Joe and makes him want to vote her out. Spencer asks the other boys where their head's at and pitches himself to stay. It doesn't feel great for our friend Spencer. Although, Spencer, we could see him on a future season of Survivor Almost Same Names with the other Spencer, who's also actually changed his name since then.
Interesting.
It is.
Bring them both back.
Why not? All right, let's talk about these wildlife shots. We got your man, the capybara. We got a...
I pointed at the screen.
Yeah, of course.
When he came up, I was like, oh, yes.
You're a little Leo DiCaprio.
That's my guy right there. Big dog.
Big dog.
That's what I said. I pointed at one. Big dog.
Then we had a bird kind of flapping its wings in a very majestic way. That was pretty cool. We got the caiman, which I believe we talked about this caiman in a previous season.
Chris Caiman.
Yeah, it was Chris Caiman was on this season for a minute. And then, of course, at the Charmin Cafe...
There were some bears there.
We had the Charmin bears. We got to talk about the Charmin bears. It's been a long time coming. I think it's about time we talk about the Charmin bears. I'll tell you, Thomas, I forgot this was the wildlife shot we did, and not excited about this.
No, you don't like thinking about them. Who's your favorite of them?
When did the Charmin bears come into an existence?
They've been around for a while because I remember the concept of when you subscribed to Mad Magazine. There was
throwback.
It was like a letter to the editor, or it was like a column or something that somebody wrote in it where they were like, I just like to imagine them at a convention with a bunch of other mascots. And all they want to talk about is shitting. Like, that's just all they want to talk about. I remember that. People are avoiding them.
That was so funny. Do you remember what year that might have been?
That would have been probably like 2004 or 2005. I want to say that like 2002 or 2003 is probably when they were introduced.
1999.
Wow, they've been around for a long time.
Mm-hmm. Where did they come from?
Charmin, the company Charmin.
The United Kingdom, America, and Canada.
One of them does have a British accent. They're like a family where they're all from different countries somehow. I don't understand this.
There are 2 colors of the Charmin bears in the U.S., but there's a third in Canada. What are the 3 colors of the Charmin bears?
There's like a lighter brown. There's like a darker brown. And then I don't think is there a black bear?
The 3 colors are red, blue, and tan.
Okay. So red was like what I was thinking of, the darker brown. Tan was the lighter brown. And then there's a blue. Is there a blue one in the U.S.? Or is that only in Canada?
No, the tan one is the one that's only in Canada, apparently. Canada.
I do not remember this blue bear. I'm not thinking about it like that.
To be fair, I feel like you're probably leaving the room anytime these bears come on your television.
Yeah, I'm averting my gaze.
How do they approach potty training?
They love it. We're leaning right into it.
You would think, right? As bears that are all about shitting and being healthy and doing it right. In fact, they are sensitive and absent-minded. The mother and father bears... The mother and father bears... Oh, excuse me, just a minute. Okay. The mother and father bears... Mother and father bears know that their children are going to be big kids when they get potty trained.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. You know?
They do know that.
What sets these bears apart from other bears?
They're wiping their asses. I can tell you that.
They have human teeth instead of sharp bear teeth.
Okay. I was going to say the part where the bears don't wipe their asses normally, but that's also true.
They sometimes do inappropriate things in their commercials. Can you give an example?
Did one of them have like toilet paper stuck on their foot at one point?
If only.
Does one of the bears slap the other bear's ass?
Okay, this is a direct quote. They sometimes do inappropriate things such as twerking or showing their butts. And all
they do love to show their butts.
They really do.
When are they twerking? Is that a recent thing?
It must be. I don't know. And also, the mother red bear sucks the little pieces off of the little bear's butt in one commercial.
Oh, what?
I assume they mean the toilet paper, right? But they don't specify what they mean by the little pieces.
Yummy. You missed some.
Okay, Thomas.
Oh, my God.
For an extra 5 points, what are each of their names?
Oh, I don't know.
Guess. Just
don't
guess.
Ask me that. You can't ask me that.
All right, we've got Leonard, Dylan, Amy, Bill, and Molly. It doesn't distinguish who's who.
Why do they have names? They don't need names. We know what they are.
They all are the same. The gross bears who fucking suck.
They don't deserve names.
So I got this information. Would you believe I couldn't find...
I hate them.
I hate them so much. Would you believe that I couldn't find them on the standard Wikipedia?
Wikipedia is like, we will not be putting them on here.
I had to go to a website called... Just wait. The Heroes Wiki.
What?
The Heroes Wiki is an offshoot of the Villains Wiki and is designed to be a comprehensive database of heroes from all media.
They are not heroes. How dare they put them on the Heroes Wiki?
Ranging from cartoon shows of old to epic dramas, movies, and video games. Heroes are an ancient traditional spanning across almost all cultures and capturing the imaginations of young and old. This wiki...
I mean, that's the Charmin Bears right there.
This wiki seeks to pay homage to those childhood fantasies as well as the characters who continue to inspire us well into our adult life. Do you feel inspired well into your adult life?
No, I sure don't. I just want to say that I respect Wikipedia for not giving the Charmin Bears a platform.
Yep.
I think they should be deplatformed from everything.
Yep.
And they belong in prison. That's my opinion.
Call it Wikipedia.
No toilet paper in that prison for you. Maybe single ply if you're lucky.
Charmin Bears, get the fuck out of here. I'm glad that we never have to talk about them again, and I hope the Charmin Cafe never returns.
It's very upsetting. I will say I do hope the Charmin Cafe returns, but we don't have to do repeat wildlife shots. No. So if it does return, we don't.
You know, we often do have to repeat wildlife shots because there's only so many animals in the world.
So we will not be doing that with the Charmin Bears.
I'm sorry, I went to the Charmin Wikipedia, not the Bears Wikipedia. Just the that brand.
Doesn't exist.
Somebody is an ambassador.
Does it have like a mascots? Does it have like a mascots set it or
of
section
course
of it?
It does. Okay, here we go. In 1928, the logo of the mascot was a female silhouette. Why did you have to change it?
These ladies be shitting. Let me tell you.
Supplemented by a baby in 1953, replacing the woman by 1956.
Babies don't use toilet paper.
Get the fuck out of here. Oh, God. Okay, so the blue ones are called the Charmin Ultra Soft family. The red ones are called the Charmin Ultra Strong family. Initially, it was just one family of brown bears. Okay, so Heroes Wiki seems to be wrong. There was also somebody named Mr. Whipple at one point. Mr. George Whipple is a fictional supermarket manager in television commercials, radio, and print advertisements from 64 to 85 for the Charmin toilet paper. Man, America used to be so fun, right? Like, there's just a guy...
Things used to be good when George Whipple was on top of things and not these disgusting bears.
It really was the downfall of America when Mr. Whipple was replaced by 5 brown bears who like to wipe their ass on TV.
I think that the Charmin Bears made George W. Bush be president. I'm just throwing that out there right now.
You can't prove it's
I think it wouldn't have happened. I think it wouldn't have happened if not for them.
In some commercials, Mr. Whipple was accompanied by a stock boy named Jimmy. Do you know who played Jimmy?
When would this have been?
Sometime between 64 and 85.
Okay, well, there's so many people it could be. Ron Howard, I don't know.
Adam Savage of the Mythbusters.
Oh, okay, interesting.
Oh, he returned in 1999. Okay, I don't care anymore.
Do you think he was, like, toilet busted after?
Yeah, I think that was his catchphrase. At Tribal Council, Spencer calls his game and the challenge pathetic. Fair enough. Taj is hopeful they can at least win the next immunity challenge so they can go into the merge, even with Timbira. Remember when we thought Timbira was the disaster tribe on this season? Turns out to be Jalapeno, the red jalapeno.
That's right.
Taj talks about feeling like she's next, even though she's always giving 110%. And Geoff asks about Taj potentially having an idol. I wish Geoff would stop blowing up Taj's spot. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Leave her alone.
Leave Taj alone. Speaking of Britney Spears, Spencer is voted out 4-1. Probably more than that. I think Spencer got all the votes, right?
Yeah, I think so.
They would have shown more Taj.
Well, I guess Spencer didn't vote for himself, but...
Well, yes, obviously. Okay, Thomas. I know we just stopped talking about the Charmin Bears, and thank God, but we did, in fact, visit the Charmin Cafe. So can you tell us the name of this week's Quopes quiz?
So nasty that it's probably somewhat of a travesty having me. Then he told the people you can call me your majesty. Keep your battery charged.
Oh, hey, Joey. Joey's on there.
Joey from Friends?
Yeah.
Excuse me, Joey from Joey?
Joey from Joey, yeah. Wait, this link led to something else. The link that is listed here says, it's weird, but we know which sitcom character you are based off of something. Based off of the toilet paper that you... Maybe that is. Okay, it's weird, but we know which sitcom character you are based on your toilet paper preferences. Okay.
Charmin or Scott by FTC Lou. community contributor with 210 points, approved and edited by the BuzzFeed community team. Okay, Thomas, choose your favorite type of toilet paper. Soft, recycled, 1-ply, 2-ply, 3-ply, they're all the same.
Who would pick 1-ply?
I don't know, sickos? I'm going to pick soft.
Yeah. I'll say I like a soft toilet paper. I'm going to say like a 3-ply. I like a nice strong toilet paper. I'm more of a Charmin strong family than a Charmin soft family.
Oh God, the fucking bears have gotten to you. I love the idea that all toilet paper is the same. Like, what are you talking about?
That's not true.
Should the toilet paper... Ooh, this is the big question. Should the toilet paper come from over or under the roll? Over?
Obviously over.
Doesn't really matter. Under, coming from the bottom. Honestly, who cares? I personally like it over, but I don't care. Honestly, who cares?
That's the way that you do it. That's the way it's done.
That's the way I do it.
No. Jake is going to be wishy-washy about this. That is the way that it is done.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
If you do it the other way, that's incorrect.
Okay, I'm rereading the question. Should the toilet paper come from over or under? It should come from over, personally. When we were kids, we had a cat. And whenever it was under, when it was going behind, she would get it up against the wall and take it all down using, the wall as leverage. Didn't happen when we flipped it over. So you got to keep that in mind. So I've always done over. But if I'm at somebody's house and they got it under, whatever. It's your house. And this next question is in the Brat Green, so I know you're excited, Thomas. Choose a toilet paper brand. Charmin, Scott, Cottonelle, any store brand, Quilted Northern, or other.
I'm going to put other because it is a store brand, but I wouldn't pick any store brand because the Meyer brand
I'm
good enough for me.
Pick Quilted Northern. Are they going to ask about bidets at all? Do you judge other people based on their toilet paper preferences? No, duh. I won't comment on it, but I usually am judging, or it depends.
This is a classic it depends question.
Yeah. Like maybe they use depends.
I think it depends on whether I think it depends on that's a good one right there. I gotta stop just to congratulate you on that.
Thank you.
So it depends on whether I'm using it or not. If I see it, I'm not gonna make a judgment. But if I gotta use it and I don't like it, I'll make a judgment.
I won't comment on it, but I am not going to. But I usually am judgy. Yes, I love to judge quietly. That's why we do this podcast. What would you do if a family member bought the wrong toilet paper? Nothing. I'd go out and buy the right one. I'd always have my own stash, or I'd move out.
Nothing. Just use it, and then we'll get the right one next time.
I'll always have my own stash. Let's be honest.
Shake is
secret. I got a secret
emergency
stash.
Toilet paper so you can shit just right.
That's right. What's your opinion on wet wipes? Don't really use them. Absolutely essential. I don't know. What's that? I'm going to say don't really use them. I feel like that's gross. I'm not a baby. Oh my God, Thomas. You
Are you Joey?
Are you Joey?
No, I'm not Joey.
Oh. Who are you?
You're self-aware, which means you know the areas where you need improvement. You don't really concern yourself with trivial things, which is absolutely wrong. I love trivia.
You love trivia.
But sometimes people can misunderstand you. I am BoJack Horseman. Don't like that.
Don't love that one for you. Mine says you don't really seem to take much into consideration at all. You also don't have a strong preference when it comes to toiletries, and that's okay. You tend to choose whatever is the most convenient. You are Joey Tribbiani from Joey.
Joey, how you doing?
How you doing? That was the best result I could have ever gotten. I'm so happy about that. I tried finding a missing tooth quiz for this week because JT lost his tooth. But BuzzFeed kept giving me, instead of missing tooth quizzes, kissing booth quizzes from that show Kissing Booth, apparently. You hear this show?
Yeah, I love Kissing Booth.
I don't know. It's got some boys in it. I don't know. People seem really excited about it. There were like 1,000 quizzes about Kissing Booth, but 0 about missing tooth. Stupid. Thomas, what's your social medias?
You can follow me at tom.tom.bsky.social or at tom.tom on X, the everything app formerly known as Twitter.
The show is on YouTube at the Compassionate Haters Survivor Podcast. What can people comment on YouTube?
Very funny. Smiley face or just smiley face.
It's really up to you. Last week's poll asked, and do you remember what we said would be the poll this week? Because things might change.
I do remember. No, I do remember, but what was the poll last week?
Which Geoff do you prefer? Nice, mean, or horny? How would you have voted?
Mean.
50% of people said nice. 50% of people said mean. Now, what was the poll we said this week?
Are you more of a jealous Nick Jonas Love Island contestant or more of an overprotected Britney Spears?
Yeah, that's really good, actually. I was going to say, do we need to come to a consensus on nice versus mean Geoff? Or do we want... Love Island will still be on next week, right?
I mean, it will, but we're not going to remember that. So
that's a good point. Okay, let's do that this week. You can vote on Britney Spears versus Justin Bieber. What's his name? Joseph Gordon-Levitt.
Yeah.
Jonas.
No, it's Nick Jonas. Join us next week.
Nick, join us next week when we vote on Nick Jonas.
You're so fucking beautiful and everybody wants your sex. That's why.
Yep.
I still get jealous.
What a good song. I do actually really like that song.
Yeah. I like the version without Tina Shey a little bit better, I'm going to be honest.
Oh, that's a hot take.
Radio edit, no Tina Shey, I think is the superior version.
What can people vote on this week? We already said Justin Bieber versus Jonas Brothers. You know what I mean. Get out of here. To vote, go to youtube.com/official Survivor Podcast/community. Okay, you know how to work YouTube. We have a few shows on Patreon. I feel like it's appropriate that we shout out Just Joey, right?
I mean, if any week we're going to do that.
Yeah. Patreon.com/justpodcasts. You want to thank the fans?
I would love to thank the listeners and subscribers. Thank you for listening and subscribing.
Nice. And what can people write on the Apple reviews or wherever you review podcasts?
This is my favorite podcast. I like it better than all of the other podcasts. I give it a big thumbs up.
All right. Well, we will be back next week with episode 7 of Survivor Tocantins, skipping episode 6, the first however many days recap episode. Who gives a shit? I mean, I guess if you want to watch it, feel free, but we're not going to talk about it, probably.
Yeah, why would you need to? We watched all the episodes. Why would you need to watch it?
Yeah, we watched all the episodes. Why would you need to watch it? That's how I feel about Love.
You know what? If you're coming into next week, like let's say this was the first week that you watched any episodes of it, then maybe watch it. You'll get a little refresher.
Yeah, if it's 2009 and you still haven't figured out DVR or on demand, and you want to watch episode 6, like that's the episode to watch. It'll give you a recap of all of what Coach did in the first 5 episodes. And boy, howdy, did he do a lot. I did, let me tell you, before starting episode 5, Paramount Plus tried to make me rewatch episode 4, and it was about Coach being mad that he wasn't chosen leader. I was like, how is he still mad about this?
He's still going on about this. He just won't let it go.
And then like 2 minutes in, I was like, I'm pretty sure I've seen this episode already. Anyway, we'll be back next week with episode 7, Survivor Tocantins. Top tier season, I would say. I know it's still early, but it's doing good. All right, until then, have a great summer under this heat dome.
Deuces. Can I have some?
Yeah, I'll send it to you.
Ariel, get me some too.
Ariel, Thomas said he wants some too.
I also want mine with ice.
He said he wants his with ice too. She said, okay, great, no problem. somebody was talking about that on a little show called Love Island that we watched this week.
Oh no, you guys are watching that?
Ariel is watching it, and I'm catching.
You are held captive.
I don't often watch a full episode, but on occasion I will, and I definitely have my favorites and least favorites. But they brought in a bunch of people like halfway through the show, and I don't know any of them, and I don't like any of them. What's your opinion on Love is Blind?
Know.
Love is Land.
Love is Land.
Love is Land. Yeah.
Have you seen they did a spin-off of Love is Blind called Love is Land? I'm not that into it.
Yeah, it's weird.
I don't really understand the premise.
My wife just brought me some more iced coffee. How nice is that? Thank you.
Can't help but notice I didn't get any. After I specifically
on
asked.
the way. She literally just got on a scooter, a Lime scooter. She'll be
okay.
You think you could take a Lime scooter from
She
Chicago to
got
Grand
on a Lime
Rapids?
That's crazy. I really do not have an opinion on Love is Land other than that. Anytime that I see anything about it, there's never enough context, like, because those kind of reality shows, it's always just being like, I hate Name. Name is being like, but I like Name. And so anytime I'm just like, well, I don't have to know anything about this. Like, this doesn't tell me anything, so I can just block that out. And then anytime I see pictures from it, it looks like a 30 Rock cutaway gag. So I kind of like the experience of just not knowing anything about it, but occasionally being confronted by it.
It's definitely everything you just said. I hate this person, or I love this person.
So it seems like they have really stupid people on there.
100%. I said at one point, these people don't read books. Like, you can just tell.
They're like people that don't have a life before or after being on Love Island.
Right.
They just exist. They appeared. She loves to talk about books with them, but you know what she doesn't love to do? Get me my fucking iced coffee. Still waiting.
Smarten up, probes.
One guy, big Mo, two guys, little bitty Mo, three guys, four-eyed Mo, four guys, no Mo, five guys, eat Mo, five little guys named Mo.
You want to remember five guys?
Sure.
All right. Up first. This is, of course, Survivor Sports News, Pop Culture, and Which, and is their theme, and can you find the theme? Up first, your namesake, Thom Ashworth.
We all know I was named after Thom Ashworth. Is this a Survivor player?
No.
I've never heard of this guy before.
Damn, he was the first one on the list of athletes from this theme. He, of course, was a football player in the 2000s. He played for the New England Patriots from 2001 to 5 and the Seattle Seahawks in 06 and 07.
So was he like an offensive lineman?
Was he what?
Was he an offensive lineman?
I didn't look that much into it, but I did see that he caught a touchdown pass from Tom Brady once. Tom.
Maybe. I'm gonna look this up. I'm not. It makes sense that there was a bunch of like guys on the Patriots that
were named Tom.
So he was an offensive lineman, and they did like to have trick plays where offensive linemen caught touchdown passes. So
okay, that's fun. Second guy, Ken McNichol. What a fun name that is.
Ken McNichol.
Gotta remember this guy.
Is he a Survivor player?
He is a Survivor player. He's from one of our favorite seasons.
Is he from, is that Ken from Millennials versus Gen X?
Indeed it is.
Okay, yep. I do
course.
remember Ken McNichol.
Number 3, guy you definitely will remember, Pam Grier.
Pam Grier from Jackie Brown? Pam Grier?
That's the one.
Oh, man. Pam Grier, one of the all-time, like, who boy, I tell ya. Pam Grier. Great actress. Extremely fine lady.
Yeah, absolutely. Number 4, another lady, Kellen Bechtold.
This sounds like a Survivor player. I'm trying to remember what season this was.
A season you like, but the general audience feels kind of mid on.
Okay. Was this a recent one?
It's
it's post-COVID, right?
No, this was pre-COVID, but post us starting this show. If that
was this Ghost Island? Was she a Ghost Island player?
Island, yes.
Okay, I do like Ghost Island. Why are people mid on that? It's a good season.
I don't know. I think because the editing, like, it focused so much on the final matchup.
What? Yeah, because they were interesting.
Yes, that was what was interesting about the season, exactly.
Yeah, God forbid they focus on the good part of the season. No, they focused on them a lot early because they had like a clear villain that they were going up against too in Rapp and Chris.
Of course, Rapp and Chris. How could I forget?
God, I love that season.
Special guy to remember. And finally, our official fifth guy this week, Chauncey Billups.
Oh, Mr. Big Shot. He's currently the coach of the Portland Trailblazers, and he is, to my knowledge, the only Pistons player that you owned a jersey of.
Yes, still do. I think I own two of the same jersey that I got at, I don't know, probably like the 50th anniversary game that we went to in 2008 or whatever that might have been. And I remember them being both way too big for me and my brother at the time, but now fit pretty comfortably.
Mr. Big Shot.
Mr. Big Shot. Do you remember all the teams he's played for? I'll give you a point for everyone you get in order.
Oh, man. Yeah, the point, these very real points that are being calculated. I will try. He bounced around a bit early in his career. He was drafted by the Denver Nuggets. I believe he played for the Toronto Raptors earlier in his career. Mm-hmm. The Minnesota Timberwolves.
Okay.
The Pistons after that.
Yep.
The Denver Nuggets again. Mm-hmm. I believe he played for the New York Knicks. Mm-hmm. The Los Angeles Clippers. Mm-hmm. And then I think he had a brief final stint with the Detroit Pistons.
That's right. He retired in Detroit. You forgot the Celtics.
Oh, I did forget the Celtics. No, didn't he got drafted by the Celtics, did he not? Or
Celtics, I didn't write all that.
It was
down.
Early in his career. Rick Pitino wanted him traded for some reason, and that ended up being a stupid reason. Yeah,
it went Celtics, Raptors, Nuggets, Timberwolves, Pistons, back to the Nuggets, Knicks, Clippers, and then back to the Pistons. Took a few years off, and then he started coaching, I think it is as an assistant for the Clippers, and now he's head coach at the Trailblazers, which is pretty cool. Now I got to be rooting for Portland, too. I'm already rooting for the Nuggets. Get out of here. I can't be adopting a third
They're
team.
like kind of a fun, scrappy team. I think you'd like watching them. They just traded for Drew Holiday, who's a fun player.
Oh, nice. I do generally like that team throughout history. Wasn't Sheet on the
they also
Blazers?
just drafted a Chinese center named Hansen Yang, who is... after he got picked a little higher than expected, there was like a Nuggets executive that a reporter was texting, and they asked about him, and the only thing they got in response was Chinese Jokic. So,
ooh, okay,
yeah, I'm gonna see him in Summer League. I'm very excited to see Hansen Yang in person.
Yeah, that sounds great. I remember what I was gonna say. Outside of the Pistons, who's your number one basketball team?
I was for the many years that the Pistons were quite bad. The Denver Nuggets were kind of my second team, so that's what I would say.
Yeah. Oh, speaking of,
which honestly, again, what we were just talking about, you were on your honeymoon in Denver. Denver, they have a little bit of a GR vibe, according to you. Mm-hmm. Their G League team plays in Grand Rapids. Grand Rapids Gold.
That's what I was going to say earlier. It makes sense that the Grand Rapids team is a feeder for Denver because they have very similar vibes. Portland as well has very Grand Rapids vibes, I would say. Maybe just every mid-sized town has Grand Rapids vibes. Do you think that's possible?
Cool mid-sized cities. Yeah. I've heard that about Buffalo as well.
Okay.
Heard good things about Buffalo.
Okay, so did you pick up on the theme of these five guys?
These five guys...
What do they all have in common? Thom, Ken, Pan, Kellen, Chauncey. Oh, come on, Thomas. Use context, please.
Are they all from Denver?
They're all from Denver, yeah.
Oh, is that true?
Yeah.
Oh, that makes sense because you were just there.
Yeah. Did you just hang up on me?
No.